guys are 10-11, but obviously they've won a few in a row. What still makes them a dangerous team?
Well, I only look at them as having won 5 of their last 6. You got to throw out a lot of stuff when you look at them. So when you see who they are now, once they got to the pieces that they had to play with, and become who they needed to become to win games. So it goes right back to where it's always been. They play really hard, and they play extremely competitive defense, physical. They play with a lot of pride. So you got some veteran guys with Brima, Purvis, and Facey's, guys that have won a lot of games. I mean, you're talking about guys who won big games, won a lot of games, and they've been through so much as a team that I think it takes you to a place of where you've figured out exactly who you need to be to win. And I think they know that. They know that if they don't play really hard, play really physical, they can't win. And I think we almost found the same thing out Wednesday at Tulsa. That's usually who wins. Team that plays the hardest and the team that battles the most. I also think when you struggle, it forces you to focus on being really good at little things. So like their big guys are excellent screeners. They do everything they can to get the right guys open, and whatever it took to get them to the place they're in. But that's who I see play now when I watch them on film now, which is all that really concerns me.
Mick, to follow up on that a little bit, did Tulsa prove to your guys how hard people are going to come at them, and that there's really no letdown at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I believe that it's had anything to do with us. I think Tulsa's worried about Tulsa. They're worried about their own season and trying to get a win. And I don't. I think you need to have enough humility to realize that everybody's playing. They're playing for themselves, just like UCONN's trying to get a win tomorrow for UCONN. As far as us, I think every game's unique, and you need to understand that everybody's battling. And a team like UCONN, obviously, pride is a huge thing with them, and who they are, what they represent. And I'm well aware of who their coach is. And I know he's not going to let them give in or give an inch. So hopefully Wednesday was a reminder to us that you have to play really, really hard. You can't just show up. And if you try to jump shoot your way to victory, it's a dangerous way to play. Because when they don't go in, you're going to lose. Fortunately, we started defending our way to victory, and there was just enough time to do it. And that's why we won the other night.
Coming off of where UCONN is now, Facey's been getting a lot more looks, getting more involved in the offense. Is one of the messages this week to look at his touches?
I think you definitely have to have respect for his offense. On a side note, happy for the kid because I've always respected how hard he plays. But, I think with them it all still starts with Jalen Adams. And you'd be remiss to think that if you don't control him, you're going to have problems. And I think if you got to throw his numbers out because he's the focal point of everybody's game plan against UCONN. So you got to keep Adams under control as best you can. When it comes to Facey's, his offensive rebounding is probably the best thing he does. And he's averaging, in conference plays, over 3 a game. So that's a big concern for us.
When you look at Adams, it's just pressuring them a little bit further out?
You just got to keep him out of the lane, but he's probably, in our league, off the top of my head, the best athlete with the ball in his hands. So for us, it's kind of like playing against Edmund Summers, who we just recently played against, that if he can get his speed going up towards the rim, you can't stop him. He's going to sidestep you. He's going to be able to contort and finish. So you got to be able to stop him in transition with 2 people. You can't stop him with 1.
Do you think the smack in the mouth in the first 33 minutes against Tulsa might help propel your team when they're going kind of facing adversity and having to swim forward?
Yeah, probably have to ask them that. I think, you know, anytime you can overcome adversity and win, it's a good thing. And I think it's probably was bound to happen at some point. You know, now I think hopefully our guys understand that's not the last of it. Lot more teams scrapping out there for wins. And I always say, you know, you got to be able to win when you don't shoot the ball well. You know, Tulsa committed to packing it in on us in different ways and making it really hard on us. I thought we settled for too many jump shots at times, and late we got Kyle some post touches that were probably the difference in the game for us. He got a couple of big baskets for us on the interior. So one thing this team hasn't done, though, they refuse to give in. They could have obviously packed it in the other night. So says a lot about the guys on the team.
Do you think that's the most impressive thing about the streak you're on, that they just figure out a way to get it done?
I think all you have to do is simply look around the country, and a lot of teams have gotten beat that probably should have gotten beat on paper or should not have gotten beat on paper. So you got to give the kids credit for finding a way to not be on that list of teams that have gotten maybe knocked off by somebody they weren't supposed to get knocked off to, or by an underdog. So I would just say that speaks to the guys' spirit on the team. You know, I think that's it's an underrated thing. As a coach, you know when you have it and you know when you don't have it. And it's hard to describe. You can come to media sessions and try to describe it all you want. But as a coach, it's very evident when you have that versus when you don't have that. And like I've said all year, I think the seniors on our team, and I think Kyle Washington has added a great deal of energy to our group that has permeated throughout our team. Probably was playing the ACC. He made a deep run at NC State in the tournament, and he's got lofty aspirations for our team and as an individual. I think you've got to have somebody like that on your team, in your locker room. So I think that's where I think he's even helped Troy and Kevin in that aspect.
In any sport, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. You're talking about, not that it's a supposed to win game, but how much is last year's on their minds a little bit? I mean, it's
Last
a different
year?
team,
Oh,
it's
God.
a different era, but it's
For me, none. You can ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even a little bit for me. I hadn't even thought about it. And really, to be honest, I haven't studied the tape. We're both so different. We don't really run the same offense. So, studying the tape of how they defended some of our stuff last year is irrelevant because we're such a different team offensively. But no, I haven't. These guys maybe. And I'm not a coach that talks about that a lot. We play them so many times that we're so used to it, and you expect a battle that it wasn't the first close loss that we've had or that they've had. I mean, it's almost every time. So, but they may tell you that though. But I'm not a guy that talks about stuff like that.
They've been a lot different when Brian was off the floor. He's gotten in a lot of foul trouble. Are there certain things you can do to, not necessarily baiting him, but putting him in situations where he's got to make tough decisions like that, and fouls and stuff like that?
Well, he's going to be who he's going to be. So the question is, how much does he have to defend? So if you shoot all jump shots, he's not going to get in foul trouble. Usually a guy like Brima, if left to just defend his own man, he'll be all right. But the more you can break a team down and he has to help others is where he would get into trouble. It happened to us a lot with Octavius Ellis. He was fine unless he was running around helping everybody else all the time. With their numbers issues, foul trouble period is an issue for them. So, but it's not, we don't really talk about just trying to get a certain player in foul trouble.